Hello and welcome to NFL Gamepicks Week 9. This is the way. This is the way. Guys, I can't see jack into this thing, but the Dolphins got a big win against the New England Patriots. Wasn't even much of a challenge, but they have a big challenge coming up this week against the Kansas City Chiefs in Frankfurt, Germany. It's going to be awesome. Recording it on Halloween because I will be traveling to Germany tomorrow to go watch the Finns play against the Chiefs. Cheetah's old team. It's going to be sick. I'm absolutely geeked for it. Now, who wants to go next?
We lost again. Typical. Knew we were going to. This team sucks. Hopefully we tank, get a first or second pick in the draft or a top 5 at least, because this is awful and I don't know how else to fix it. And we traded Rasul Douglas today for a 3rd round pick. Who cares? Awful scenario going on. It's tough to watch.
Yeah, we had a tough loss on Monday Night Football. We did not look very good at all. But that being said, we made a decent move today at the trade deadline, acquiring Montez Sweat, which should help a lot of our defensive issues as far as pressuring the quarterback. But we'll see what happens. Tyson Baggan is going to start again this week, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, tough loss on Monday Night Football last week, for sure.
For those of you guys wondering, yes, I am the Mandalorian. Chris is Spider-Man when he's fighting Macho Man Randy Savage. And then we got the cheese head version of Mr. Potato Head.
I'm Picasso!
Oh, man. But without further ado, let's get...
Wait a minute. My nose
You're all scrambled.
We're here.
Without further ado, we're going to get into the standings. So let's see what we got here. We have Yadian still on top, 82-40 on the season after a 12-4 week. I'm just right behind them, 11-5 last week, 79-43 on the season. Third place, we have Hector with 77-45 on the season, 10-6 last week. We also have a couple. I think right now, looking at it, DJ is the best of the week, 13-3. Congrats, DJ, for having the best week. And then let's take it right after DJ. Who we got there, huh, Chris?
Yeah, DJ had a pretty good week, but I did too. I'm right behind him. I went 12-4. I'm at 74-48. But I'm pretty sure DJ and I are going to differ on probably at least one pick this week. So We'll see if who comes out on top.
And then Joey?
Fell down to number 11 spot.
Sheesh.
Not a good year for Joester. Not doing too hot. 68 and 54 on the year. I don't know. This stinks. I'm always floating around the bottom. I need to get back to the top somehow. I need to go completely undefeated for the next 3 weeks.
Let's hope that's the case. And 9-7 last week for you, Joey. Back to you, Joey. Why don't you kick us off with Thursday night football?
Thursday night football, we got the Tennessee Titans traveling to Pittsburgh to face off against the Steelers. And I think I'm going to go with the Steelers here, even though that Will Levis threw 4 touchdowns in his coming out party and looked incredible. DeAndre Hopkins looked like his prime self again. Really exciting stuff to see if you're a Titans fan, but I don't know if I'm 100% sold going forward. I think they might have shocked some people with his first start. Didn't really know how to judge the kid, but I'm going to go with Pittsburgh here. Not really sure on Kenny Pickett's status. I think he's going to play, but if he doesn't, I might switch my pick to Tennessee.
Oh, yeah, Kenny Pickett's going to play. I'm going to take the Steelers at home. I think Will Levis had an awesome week last week. 4 touchdowns, 3 of them going to the Hopkins, which is great to see because he said this. He's like, I feel like I'm Geno Smith. They wrote me off. And quietly, Derrick Henry had another 100 yards of rushing on the ground, too, for Tennessee. So I'm not really making a great case why I picked Pittsburgh, but I think Will Levis will struggle against this defense and potentially have a big turnover day. He is a rookie quarterback. But I wouldn't be shocked if Tennessee went in here and got a win on Thursday Night Football, too.
We could be seeing the start of a phenomenal career for Will Levis, but it's only one game. Not overreacting. But 4 touchdowns, 3 of which were to DeAndre Hopkins, which on my bench, but it didn't really cost me much. That was awesome. I will be going with the Tennessee Titans, and that is purely off of the fact that Kenny Pickett is not playing in this game. If he played in this game, I would have more so went towards them. But, like, there's still the factor of Mitch Trubisky, which I know you know a lot about. I know a lot about.
He's going to play.
Yeah, so Pickett's out, 100%.
No, Pickett said he's going to play.
Oh, Pickett's going to play?
Yeah.
I'm still riding with Tennessee.
Oh,
I liked what I saw from Will Levis, but the concern stands there with the defense from the Pittsburgh Steelers at home, Thursday Night Football. The juice will be flowing in Acrisure Stadium, no longer Heinz Field. Such a shame.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's such a shame they
That
changed that name.
sucks.
But let's keep it moving. We have the first game on the Sunday window. We have the Miami Dolphins versus the Kansas City Chiefs in Frankfurt, Germany, 9:30 a.m. kickoff. I put p.m. here. Let me fix that really quick. Yeah, we have 9 a.m. kickoff. And, dude, this Kansas City team, like, why is it every time the Dolphins are about to play one of the toughest teams in all of the NFL, the bad teams beat them. The Jets beat the Eagles right before the Dolphins played them. The Broncos beat the Chiefs right before the Dolphins played them. I'm like, come on, man. I will stick to this fact, and it's really good teams barely ever lose 2 games in a row. And even though that I'm saying that, I will be rocking with the Miami Dolphins. They had a good outing versus the New England Patriots, and this Kansas City Chiefs team is wishy-washy, and I don't think Taylor is going to be in Germany. Not to throw her around so much, but I don't think she'll be there.
Yeah, so funny story. Our first trick-or-treaters today were Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. Asked the kid who was Travis Kelce where Taylor Swift was, and she said he wasn't trick-or-treating with them. I don't think she'll be trick-or-treating with them come Sunday either, and I'm going to go with the Dolphins because whenever Taylor Swift isn't there, the Chiefs seem to suck. And the Dolphins are flat out the better team. The Chiefs didn't look good at all against the Broncos. Patrick Mahomes might have had the flu. We can blame on that all we want, but I don't really care. I'm going with the Miami Dolphins here.
Wow, I was honestly expecting you to take Kansas City there, honestly. But I'm a rock with the Dolphins. I guess it's all 3 of us going with the same pick, which I don't love. I kind of want to fade you guys, but like you mentioned, Mahomes was sick last week. Now he has to travel all the way to Germany. That can't help. I don't know the details, but yeah. I like this Miami team a little bit more just right now, at least, especially offensively wise. Even though, obviously, Kansas City has a better quarterback, I think Tua has better weapons by far. So I'm going to take Miami because this isn't really a home game for either team. So I hope you have fun, bro. I'm jealous. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be sick.
Hope you eat a lot of good food and enjoy it. But, yeah, I think Miami gets the win here.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Like, I was trying to go to this game no matter what, whether or not they played on their Arrowhead or now how they are in Germany right now. So I'm really excited, and I can't wait to just go out there and just experience something that I've never experienced, which is going to Germany. That's pretty cool. But why don't we take it to the next game, the first game in the 1 o'clock window, huh, Joey?
Yeah, we got the Arizona Cardinals traveling to Cleveland to face against the Browns. Browns had a tough loss against Seattle, kind of some late scoring with Jackson Smith and the Jigba to put the game away for Seattle and get the win over them. I think Cleveland's had a great year so far. I'm going to rock with them. Not really sure who's going to be at quarterback, but this guy P.J. Walker's looked incredible so far. Every time I see him, he's just slinging it, looking like he's stepping in and actually controlling the offense very well. Don't know when Deshaun Watson's going to be back, but it doesn't look like they're missing him too much.
I agree. This Cleveland Browns team, the defense is phenomenal. P.J. Walker is playing really well. I'm going to pick Cleveland here. Arizona just traded away Joshua Dobbs, and Murray is not supposed to start this week, but it's not entirely ruled out. You're looking at me like you have something to say, so I'll let it get to you. But with that uncertainty, you just got to go with the Browns at this moment. Maybe if Kyler plays, I'd consider changing it, but even then at that point, I'm already locked in on the Browns. I think they're a way better team than this Arizona Cardinals team. I expect it to be a tighter matchup. The spread is at 7.5. I think it's going to be a lot closer. But that is considering the Cardinals, how they were with Joshua Dobbs. I don't know how they're going to be without him. So it's a tough one to pick.
Oh, man. What a bad game, I feel like. You got Arizona traveling to Cleveland. Ain't nobody ever go to Cleveland on vacation.
I did.
Especially during this time of year. But I'm a rock with you guys and pick the same, kind of off to all the same trend right now. But I'm going to go with the Browns at home. Clayton Tune, I think, is going to start. I don't think Kyler is going to play at all. I think that's been pretty much said.
Okay.
But you never know. But yeah, I don't even know who Clayton Tune is. So I'm gonna go with whoever plays quarterback for the Browns, and they just have a better team, and that defense is awesome. Miles Garrett is a beast, and he's playing out of his mind this year. So
factual.
Whoever's playing quarterback is definitely going to feel his presence for sure.
All right, what we got next? I know this is a big-time rivalry amongst the game picks here.
We got my team, the Chicago Bears, happily traveling down to New Orleans to face off of our former co-host, DJ Gamble's Saints.
Yes,
Shout out, DJ. We miss you, buddy. But I'm going to rock with my boys, honestly. I think we have a good chance to win this one. Derek Carr has not looked very good since getting that injury. And we're happy to get out of the cold. My cousin Kaylin sent me a Snapchat today that it's already snowing in Chicago. So I'm sure those guys are happy to get out of that type of weather, go down to NOLA where it's a little bit warmer and play in a dome. And we just signed a new guy on defense. So Montez Sweat's gonna come in for us and try to figure out that sack and QB pressure issue. We'll see how it goes. But I got faith in the boys.
I don't blame you for having faith in them, but I just don't think you guys can beat this Saints defense without Justin Fields back there. And that's saying a lot because Justin Fields hasn't had the hottest start to the season, but last year he was having a lot of those flashes and really like a lot of people coming into this year were like Justin Fields is going to be that guy. And fortunately, injuries has definitely put a stamp on that for right now. But for the time being, I'm going to go with the Saints. Last time the Bears went to New Orleans, it was a very traumatic time. Was it Zach Miller? The tight end, the one
that's not the last time,
I'm pretty sure. Aside from maybe a playoff game.
But it was a long time ago. But yeah, that was a terrible injury. The dude almost lost his leg.
Yeah.
Bad.
Tough. But yeah, I'm going with the Saints. I'm going to rock with DJ's squad. I think they're just overall the better team. The defense is going to help carry them to this win. Carr has been struggling, and that's a big concern for the Saints moving forward. But hopefully he starts getting it together. Alvin Kamara is absolutely insane. So hopefully he can help carry this Saints offense to get a good lead.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Saints as well. This Bajent guy isn't really exactly selling me. Saints have a really good defense. I think they'll get the better of the young, inexperienced quarterback. Overall, though, I feel like the Bears do have a lot of things cooking up here, coming up with $110 million in cap next season and trading for Montez Sweat, potentially having number 1 overall pick. So I don't know. Maybe the Bears intentions are going to be to tank this game and just try to set up for a better future.
Don't blame them. What do we got next, Joey?
We got the Los Angeles Rams traveling to Green Bay to face off against the Packers. Really disappointing season for Green Bay. They look terrible. Jordan Love sucks. The offense sucks. The O-line sucks. The weapons suck. Just traded one of our starting corners, so I think we're selling and trying to tank, which, to be honest, I'm kind of okay with at this point. Don't really see much of a playoff outlook for us. Maybe if the Lions lost to the Raiders and it kind of became between 2 games, I don't know. But I don't really have a lot of faith at this point. If they pull something out, I'll be happy if they do. If they don't, I would just kind of hope to set up for a better future. I'm going to rock with the Rams in this one. I don't think Matthew Stafford's going to play, but I don't really think it matters.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree. Stafford is a little banged up, so they might keep him out. But I don't know. They might not because I feel like they low-key think that they could make a run in the playoffs if they do make it in some form.
The Rams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Rams. So I'm going to take the Rams. Green Bay, like you mentioned, I feel like I don't know. They just did like two contradictory moves. They got rid of Rasul Douglas, but they extended Rashawn Gary on like a massive deal. So it's kind of like, I feel like they're just figuring it out still. And I don't know if Jordan Love is it. I haven't liked what I've seen from him. Even though they're on the road, I'm going to take the Rams in what's probably going to be a pretty snowy, cold game in Green Bay.
It's going to be a lame game. Let's be real. It's going to suck.
I got to agree with both of you guys on terms of picking. I'm going with the Rams, but it's tough. Like, I almost flipped over to the Packers. Like, the injury to Stafford is not hugely detrimental. He stayed into last week's game for a little bit, but it is on his throwing hand. His thumb, they didn't give out any really specifics, but it looked like he just got a stinger. He hit his hand on the Mozzie Smith's helmet off of the Dallas Cowboys, and looked like it hurt, and it's a throwing hand. You got to grip the ball. And that's really concerning, especially without Kyron Williams back there to help carry the load in terms of rushing the ball. So putting the ball in Stafford's hands may be a little bit risky, but overall, with everything the boys were saying, the Rams are the better team. So I think they come out on top here. But how about you, Joey? Why don't you take – actually, I'll carry us into this one. We got the Minnesota Vikings versus the Atlanta Falcons. Kirk Cousins just had a horrible season-ending injury just when the Vikings were starting to get things right back on track. It's very, very sad. He's out for the year. He tore his Achilles. And just when the Vikings were starting to figure things out, they went from being, 0-4 to 4-4 now. So it's a tough break for them. But they just traded for Joshua Dobbs. So let's see if that can help even things out. For the time being, I'm going to have to go with the Falcons on this one, as much as it kind of hurts me to do so, because I think this Vikings team could go on a little bit of a streak. But without Kirk Cousins, he was a guy who was cheering everyone on, making sure the morale was high, and obviously performing on the field. I think that definitely hurts, put some wins in their sails, but I think they have a good chance of working this season out depending on the success of Joshua Dobbs back there. But the Atlanta Falcons, they got to use their draft picks a lot more often. Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, and Drake London. Those need to be the focal points of that offense, and maybe they could start having some real success and possibly win this NFC South division, which, if I'm not mistaken, they are in the lead for, or were in the lead for. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. What do you got here, Joey?
Yeah, so I'm going to go with the Falcons as well. Not really convinced about the Minnesota Vikings. I know that Josh Dobbs is not starting this week. That was already announced, so I don't really have faith in the guy that they're bringing in. In the first drive that they brought him in, he fumbled the ball and put Green Bay in a position where they could have came back, but of course they suck, so they did not. So, yeah, I don't really have a lot of faith in that guy moving forward. Atlanta has a decent team, decent enough defense to get by. And I really like Taylor Heineke a lot. If he's going to be the one going forward, I know they benched Desmond Ridder last week. I think that he's somewhat of a winner, and he has that dog mentality in him. And I really enjoy watching him play. So I'm all for watching Taylor Heineke beat the Minnesota Vikings.
Bring out the Jays.
Yeah, right? He's going to get some purple and yellow Jays.
Yeah. Bring out the Jays. I'm going to rock with you boys and pick the same, unfortunately. In this game, I'm going to take the Falcons. A lot of QB questions here. Who's going to start for Atlanta? This rookie quarterback for Minnesota, is he any good? And Jaron Hall, I don't really know. I don't even really know who he is, honestly. I'm going to take the home team here just because it's easier, but two captains lost, one on each team here. Kirk Cousins, obviously, but also Grady Jarrett on the Falcons tore his ACL, which kind of puts a damper in the defense for Atlanta, but I'm still going to rock with them boys at home.
All right, what do we got next?
We got the Seattle Seahawks hopping on a plane and traveling all the way to Baltimore. We had a pre-show talk here, and I think we had a split decision. Well, actually, two against one with who would win in a fight, a Seahawk or a Raven. You guys both took the Ravens. I took the Seahawk. In this game, I'm actually going to flip and take the Raven, even though in real life I think the Seahawk gets the best of the Raven, but that's neither here or there. The Ravens are getting hyped up a lot right now on a lot of networks and a lot of channels, saying that they're one of the top 3 teams in the league. Let's see if they can prove that it's true. Seattle looks like a pretty good team, but I don't know. I'm gonna rock with the Ravens at home.
This is going to be a sneaky good game. I don't know why, but I just have a really good feeling. I'm going to go with Baltimore here. Like you said, they are potentially one of the top 3 best teams in the NFL, which is weird because the first couple weeks it just seemed like they were kind of non-existent, and then they popped off out of nowhere, beat the Lions, and now they're here. So I think I'm going to rock with the Ravens here. I'm going to go with the hot hand, but I wouldn't be surprised if Seattle pulled it out.
Yeah, I'm torn here. I mean, these are really 2 good teams. Seattle is probably going to end up as an NFC West champion, and the Baltimore Ravens are currently in the lead for the AFC North, and that's large in due part with the connection of Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers, and also Mark Andrews. That keeps the offense humming. Defense is firing pretty well. I wouldn't say all cylinders, but they're firing off pretty well. I got to go with the Ravens. They are the better team at the end of the day. But, man, if Seattle pulls this off, I will be a little upset that it didn't go with them, just because I think they have the ability to pull off an upset like this, even though it's not too much of an upset. You have a 5-2 team and a 6-2 team. But at the end of the day, you hold the Ravens in a higher regard than the Seattle Seahawks. And now we have a very, very tough game for me to pick. I am torn on this one. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Houston Texans. I'm not entirely sure who to go with here. The Texans really let a lot of us down across the entire NFL fandom by not beating the Carolina Panthers, especially Chris, taking them out of the spot for the number 1 overall pick currently. And aside from that, Tampa Bay, I thought they could have been better. I thought they could have been the team that really started to run away with the NFC South, and they haven't done that. And it's a little bit concerning, but I'm so torn. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay. I think they pull off the upset. I think they're the more veteran team here, and they have a better chance of winning this one at the end of the day.
I'm going to actually go against you here. I'm going to take the Texans. I think this is a really important game for Stroud to see how he bounces back after a really bad game. And getting outperformed by, the number 1 overall pick in Bryce Young compared to him, who was number 2. I think he's going to come out and have a good game. Tampa hasn't really impressed me that much. Honestly, I'm not really a Baker Mayfield fan. And I think the Texans' defense is a lot better than where the Buccaneers' defense is right now. So I'm going to take the Texans at home.
Well, I am a Baker Mayfield fan, and I'm going to rock with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here. Both teams have been very good so far, but they've had some pretty questionable losses. I'm going to rock with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers just because of experience alone. C.J. Stroud, rookie, kind of an inexperienced offense. Tampa Bay, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Baker Mayfield. These are guys that have been around the league for a while. I think they're going to get it done here on Sunday.
Nice. Who do we got next?
So we got next is the Washington Commanders and the New England Patriots. New England, they had a nice win against Buffalo and then had a stinker against Miami. Washington always plays the Eagles tough. I pointed it out last week how they're always the thorn in their side, and it proved to be true on Sunday. The Commanders sold really hard today at the trade deadline, getting rid of Chase Young and Montez Sweat. Wow. I think I'm going to rock with the New England Patriots here. They haven't been that bad overall. I mean, their record is terrible. Both of these teams' records are terrible, but overall, I think that the Patriots are going to find a way to get it done compared to a team that is clearly selling. The morale is probably down, no motivation. They all know that they're not really going anywhere. I'm interested to see how the Commanders do going forward because today was really proven that they're ready to rebuild.
Yeah, when they were selling those guys, I was pretty concerned. And, this team is 2 years removed from a playoff appearance, and they got rid of the guy who basically helped carry them there, which was Taylor Heineke, and things aren't the same. I think Sam Howell is still pretty good, even though, their overall record doesn't prove it. He's just one player on the team, but The offense is too good to kind of give up on them. But selling Montez Sweat and Chase Young is an absolute blow to like the overall team. And like you said, the morale is probably pretty low right now, especially after those trades. The biggest thing about the trade deadline is if you can bring in a guy and he can inject life into a locker room, it's absolutely huge. And the Commanders did the exact opposite of that. So I'm going to go, like what Joey said, I'm going to go with the New England Patriots here.
I'm actually take the road team. Give me Washington. They still have Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen there who are pretty good on the interior of that line. So I don't think the line's going to be too bad with whoever fills in for them. The Patriots can't score points, and they just lost one of their best offensive players in Kendrick Bourne. So I'm actually take the Commanders on the road just for the fact that I think they have better offensive players, and I think that they can most likely definitely outscore New England, even if the defense isn't really what it was, a week ago.
Nice. All right, who we got next, Joey? Chris.
Well, we got the Colts going to which might be one of the worst teams in the league, in the Carolina Panthers. I'm just going to be frank. I hope Indiana wins this game. That's who I'm going to rock with. Back-to-back road teams for me, which isn't a great look. But that's what I'm picking. I'm going to take the Colts on the road. I think the Panthers are probably, bottom 3 team in the league, if not, closer to the worst team in the league. And I'm just rooting against them at this point so we can have a better draft.
Yeah, I'm going to rock with the Colts as well, even though I do want the Panthers to win. Yeah, the Colts are – listen, they're kind of cooking here. Gardner Minshew's figuring it out. They got Jonathan Taylor back. They got a lot of pieces here, even though they did lose Anthony Richardson. I like what the Colts have going on. They're kind of a sneaky division winner. And, if Jacksonville, something happens there, man. I don't know why, but I feel like they can actually make it interesting. And we know how these teams play against each other. So we'll see what happens. But I do like what the Colts have going on. They do have a lot of pieces, and in a couple of years, they're going to be damn good.
Although I don't agree with them possibly being a division winner anymore. Currently 3-5. The Jacksonville
bottom.
Jaguars are 6-2, probably fighting for number 1 spot in the AFC.
They're number 4 in that division right
Oh,
now.
holy crap!
Gosh.
They look a lot better than their record. Let's say that.
I agree with that though. They like to play to their opponent, and they like to give people challenges. I am picking them to win this game, but man, if Carolina does win, it could be interesting. But I don't think it really helps, like what Chris was alluding to, them at all. They definitely, in terms of just perspective and development, they want to get these wins, and especially they gave away the number, basically right now they're giving away the number 1/number 2 overall pick to the Chicago Bears. So they want to make sure they can make their trade pay off, and it's unfortunate. I think they gambled a little bit too much of their future moving up to get Bryce Young when they didn't. I don't think they really needed to. But yeah, that's tough. It's very tough. But we have a very good. This was the first game of the 4:00 window, by the way. This is a 4:25 game. We have the Dallas Cowboys versus the Philadelphia Eagles. I think this is probably going to be the best game of this window. We only have 3 games going on at this time. Man, these two teams are going to be going at each other's neck for the rest of the season, fighting for that top spot in the NFC East. And loser basically is getting a consolation prize of a wild card spot if things should go well the rest of the way for both teams, aside from when they play each other. But enough of that nonsense. The Philadelphia Eagles are too legit to quit, and I think they run away with this one, especially at home. But I wouldn't be surprised if they split this season series and Dallas gets the next one when they play each other in Arlington, Texas. What do we got next? What do you got, Joey? Chris. Keep on doing that.
Jeez, twice in a row. I'm going to take the Eagles. They'll make it short and sweet. The Dallas defense is what really concerns me here, but I feel like the Eagles offense needs to really just have a really good performance, and this is the game to do it. They haven't looked great. Both teams are on back-to-back wins, so one team is going to end the streak at 2, unless they tie, of course. But I'm going to take the Eagles at home. And yeah, like you mentioned, they need this win just in case Dallas keeps it close towards the end of the year.
Yeah, I'm going to rock with the Eagles as well. I feel like Dallas always has that blowout win, and then they come out and face a really good team that just blows them out. So I'm going to go with Dallas here, or I'm going to go with the Eagles here. Jalen Hurts, I mean, kind of underwhelming to start the season, but now he's kind of finding his groove. A.J. Brown, what's the stat? He just beat Megatron.
It was 6 consecutive games with 125.
Insane. I'm going to rock with the Eagles. They're a complete machine on offense at this point.
All right, we got Packers team next.
Yeah, we got the New York Giants traveling to Las Vegas to face off against the Raiders, who don't seem to want to throw Devontae Adams the ball, man. Really sad waking up on Tuesday morning and seeing Devontae throwing his helmet on the sideline, kind of throwing a fit. I don't know, you wanted this, bud, but it's tough to watch as a fan. I'm going to rock with the Giants here, actually. Tommy DeVito. Don't really know a lot about this guy.
He's not going to play.
But I'm rocking with the Giants. He ain't? Or is Tyrod playing?
Daniel Jones is going to play.
Daniel Jones is playing. Well, even better. Even more reason for me to pick the Giants. We don't really know what the hell is going on with the Giants. They're kind of abysmal, but both of these teams are. I'm rocking with the family team.
I couldn't tell you guys left or right on this one because, man, both of these teams stink. Let's be real here. The Raiders have potential to be good if Jimmy Garoppolo, like Joey alluded to, can get Devontae Adams the freaking ball. But apparently he likes to overthrow him and just have bad balls, man. Like, it's sad to watch. You're wasting the prime of a phenomenal player's career by not having a guy who can adequately get him the ball in these wide open situations.
Dude was wide open like 30 yards downfield.
Yeah. No, he missed out on like a 98-yard touchdown and a 60-something yard touchdown. Like, the game could have been, first of all, completely different for the Las Vegas Raiders had those plays maybe connected. It would have given the Detroit Lions a lot bigger of a fight last week. Unfortunately, they didn't. If Daniel Jones does play, I guess I'll go with the Giants. It's kind of like up in the air for me on this one. If Daniel Jones doesn't play and Tommy DeVito plays, then I'm definitely going to go switch over to the Raiders. But, man, both teams are very, very disappointing.
You guys both sound like kind of not sure how to pick this game. Let me tell you how to pick this game. Take the Raiders. The Raiders are by far none the better team. Max Crosby is having an insane year. Jimmy Garoppolo, yeah, he had a bad game last week, but you saw how open Devontae Adams was. He's going to hit him on a few of those. And, 2 or 3 of those is going to be enough to beat this bad Giants team who just sold Leonard Williams for nothing pretty much. So take the Raiders here at home. They're the better team. Jimmy Garoppolo is coming off an injury, but he has another week under his belt to get on the same page with Devontae. I think that's the for sure fire pick here.
All right, what do we got for Sunday Night Football?
Sunday Night Football is a tough one. You got the Buffalo Bills traveling down to the Cincinnati town to play them Bengal boys. And I don't know. We were waiting on Cincinnati to finally break out, and I felt like they had a really, really good game last weekend. The Bills don't seem like themselves. They just hardly beat the Bucs, and they don't seem like that Bills team like I mentioned last week that are blowing teams out. I'm gonna take the home team. I'm gonna take the Bengals. Jamar Chase, I need you off in fantasy. He's been doing well lately. I'm expecting the same. Joe Burrow looks a little bit more healthy here. Last week he looked great, so I'm gonna take the Bengals.
I'm gonna set this up for Joey before he even says anything because I already know where Joey's gonna go with this, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the honest viewers are gonna know. But what's better, blue chips,
Buffalo chips,
Buffalo chips, my bad, or Skyline chili?
See, these are two different questions. If we're asking which one is better, there is no better buffaloing than buffalo chips in Bonita Springs, Florida. I'm going to tell you that right now. But if you're asking who I'm picking for this game, I'm rocking with the boys who eat the Skyline chili, and I'm rocking with the Cincinnati Bengals here. They got something cooking, and I like it. They're starting to figure out their groove again. Now, the Bills, we don't really know what the hell's going on. Their window's closing, and they don't look good at all. They're 5-3, but whatever. They look like one of the worst teams, one of the worst good teams in the NFL. And I really don't know how to judge them, but I'm going with Cincinnati here.
I would agree with that title that you just gave him. Maybe put the San Fran 49ers in that discussion, but a lot more injuries to that San Fran squad than we can really like pull away from. I will go, as much as it hurts me, I will go with the Buffalo Bills. Ooh. We were robbed of this matchup last year on Monday Night Football due to unfortunate circumstances with DeMar Hamlin, but I think Buffalo is eager to get back at this Cincinnati Bengals team who beat them in the playoffs last year. And I think this is a good, pretty much FU to the Cincinnati Bengals from the Buffalo Bills for not being able to advance in the playoffs last year. Does it hurt them to lose this one, the Bengals? Yes, because it just keeps them further back away from the Ravens in the division. And the Buffalo Bills need it very, very much, especially with the possibility of the Dolphins extending a winning streak and continuing on should they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. That's hoping for the best here. And then last but not least, we have Monday Night Football, Los Angeles Chargers versus the New York Jets. Guys, let's not make this one difficult. Let's go with the Chargers. Jets, as much as they've been starting to get on a good, decent roll and start, winning games, they're finally above 500 for the second time this season, going 4-3. Listen, this Chargers team needs to start having better games if they want to have any type of chance of making the playoffs. And I think I put them ahead in terms of how they are right now instead of the New York Jets. Should Aaron Rodgers come back and should this defense keep playing lights out, then things should change on that front for the Jets. But for right now, this Los Angeles Chargers team is the better team far and a behold ahead.
Yeah, I'm a rock with the Chargers as well. I kind of need them for fantasy football. Not really sure if I'm going to play Joe Burrow or Justin Herbert. Weird. But I think I'm going to go with the Chargers here easily because the Jets, kind of a tough game against the Giants. Didn't really play too well until like the last 30 seconds of the game until they mustered it out somehow. But I'm going to rock with the Chargers here. Jets doing good enough, but not on Monday.
I'm going to have to agree. Give me the Chargers here. Both teams really need this win to try to stay alive in their division in terms of playoff hopes. They're kind of in the same position almost in respect to their divisions. But, I mean, yeah, you just mentioned it. The Jets barely won last week off of field goals alone. The Chargers are at least going to score a couple touchdowns, which will be enough to beat this bad Jets team and bad offense. That is just desperately wishing Aaron Rodgers would come back. But he's not going to be back for this game. Give me the road team on Monday night. I'll take the Chargers here.
Fun fact from the Jets' last game against the New York Giants, there were more punts than points.
22 punts
1,500 total yards of punt coverage. I mean, it was the most sloppy, New York game I would ever, like when I envisioned the New York Jets and the Giants playing each other, that's the type of game I envisioned.
13-10. Congrats.
Yeah, just a disgusting game. But that pretty much wraps up Week 9 of NFL Gamepicks. Really quick, teams that are on bye include the Denver Broncos, Detroit Lions, San Francisco 49ers, and Jacksonville Jaguars. Detroit, big win last week. San Fran, need to get healthy. Jacksonville is starting to get on a good roll. And then Denver, shocking the world by beating the Kansas City Chiefs last week. And aside from that, final words. Today was the NFL trade deadline. Couple big moves, but nothing too crazy that blew your socks off. But I think the biggest one definitely had to be the Chase Young trade to the San Francisco 49ers. I think that's absolutely huge. And they're going to have an entire week to implement him during the bye week. I think this is a great move by the San Francisco 49ers. But lots of offensive issues that needs to be addressed with health. And that's pretty much my biggest takeaway from that. Let's go Dolphins. Hopefully they get a big win in Germany. I can't wait. I'm super, super, super excited.
Yeah, the Bears, they got better today, which is, more than we can ask for. They were buyers. We're going to have to pay this guy Sweat after this season, but, he already has 6.5 sacks. Hopefully he can get after that quarterback a little bit for us, on the back half of the season. Like you mentioned, we were probably the second biggest, if not the first, depending if you think he's bigger than Chase Young, biggest deal of the day. Outside of like Josh Dobbs going to Minnesota, our whole division was active. Honestly, the Lions signed Peoples-Jones from Cleveland too, so the whole division was active today at the trade deadline. Taping a little bit early because we're all going a little, we're going out of town. We got things to do, people. But hopefully the Bears could get a win on the road and just rely on this Panthers team to keep sucking. Because we just gave away another second-round pick, which is looking like the 34th overall pick right now. So hopefully that gets a little bit worse. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I hope we keep tanking. This team sucks. And I don't know what else is going to fix it but a decent draft pick and a decent draft. So kind of hoping we don't win a game for the rest of the year and that the Panthers do and we end up losing to them in Week 15. Got a whole scenario painted in my head right now, but we'll see how it goes. Not really too happy with the way that things are going, though.
Can't get over looking at you with the potato head costume.
It's cheesy potatoes.
Cheesy
Cheesy
potato.
potatoes. Let's put this one on for the last time. This is the way.
This is the way.
That's the way.
Of Week 9 NFL Game Picks. Thank you guys for watching. And we'll catch you guys next week.
Happy Halloween.
Happy
Happy Halloween.